Welcome to the Advancing Entrepreneur. This show is all about surrounding yourself for success. Hear stories of building traction, gaining acceleration, and creating results from successful entrepreneurs who have surrounded themselves with other successful entrepreneurs. And now, here's your host, Annette Nightingale James.
Hello, Advancing Entrepreneurs. Annette Nightingale James back with you for another episode of the Advancing Entrepreneur Show, where we help you get traction, acceleration, and results in your business. Before we get started, I want to remind you that you need to hit up iamadvancing.com, hit our Join the Community tab, where you can be connected to our entire community of advancing entrepreneurs, where we help you get feedback and the support that you need to take your business to the next level. Well, we are on day 3 of our implementation series for the week. Don't forget, we take the gold nuggets from our interviews and we create a way for you to implement them into your business immediately. And this week, we're talking about advancing your inner circle, and today is part 3. So today, we're talking about continuing to take that inner circle, those people who surround you, and advance them to the next level so that you can move forward in your business. This came from our interview on Monday with Lena West, when she said that the thing that we all have most control over is who has access to us and who we have access to. Of course, we were talking about Jim Rohn's quote, "You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with." So we broke that down into 4 ways for you to implement this into your business, or 4 steps rather, to implement them to the business. So on Tuesday, we talked about a lesson on the average of 5. Then we talked about how to surround yourself in person, those face-to-face contacts, where to find them and how to plug into them so that you can advance your inner circle. Today, we're going to talk about surrounding yourself outside of those in-person contacts. And on Friday, we have an incredible episode for you about surrounding yourself in an accelerated fashion. So today is how to surround yourself virtually. And I want to make it clear that when I say virtually, it's not just behind a computer screen. It just means how to surround yourself outside of those in-person contacts that you have at conferences, networking groups, all the great stuff we talked about yesterday. If you missed yesterday's episode, make sure that you go back and check it out so you know how to plug into those live conversations and those live events and use them to advance your inner circle forward. So the first way that you can surround yourself virtually outside of those live events is to read books. Every time you read a book, you are really doing the same thing as having a conversation with somebody, except it's a conversation with the author. And it's really them imparting their thoughts the same way as would happen as if you were sitting in an audience or listening to a webinar. It's just on the page instead of at the front of the room. So reading books is a great way to surround yourself with really smart people. You can even narrow it down to a subject matter that you might be struggling with, or you can use it to advance your expertise, like we talked about in last week's implementation series, advancing your expertise. So use books, use the power of the written word to continue to surround yourself outside of the time that you're at conferences, outside of the time that you're with your mastermind group, outside of the time that you are hanging out live with other business owners. Right, just joining on to that is you can listen to books. There has never been a time as much as right now in history when books and materials were so absolutely available to us. So take advantage of that. If you are in your office working and you are, working on a presentation or, something like that where you're not talking to another person, it's a great time to keep an audiobook running in the background, especially if it's one that you've heard before and you don't have to listen to every single word, but it's a great way for you to stay plugged in to great knowledge, to great influence that will advance you forward while you continue to do your other work. Another way that you can advance yourself virtually and advance your inner circle virtually is listen to podcasts. There's a ton of podcasts, there's a ton of shows like The Advancing Entrepreneur out there that can really keep you in touch with people that you might not be able to have contact with otherwise. You can download serious knowledge and information and insights from really high level entrepreneurs by listening to the interviews like we do here on this show. You are able to sit and have coffee with that person without having to go anywhere. You can do it in your car. You can do it while you're working, like we talked about with the audiobooks. So there's no reason in the world not to surround yourself with really amazing high-level entrepreneurs right through your phone, right through your computer via podcasting. Another thing that you can do is listen to inspiring music. Listen to inspiring music. Listen to something that gets you pumped up. Find a music that you are really digging the words to, that are really just make you like, yeah, that's awesome. And plug into that. Music has an effect on us that is universal. Everybody can relate to music. There is music in every culture because of the effect that it has, the direct connection that it has to our psyche. So plug into songs that inspire you. Have that conversation. Make that artist part of your inner circle because you are surrounding yourself with them, with their positive thoughts, with their inspiring message. So use it to move you forward and surround yourself with that same vibe of moving yourself forward, even when you can't be with your own face-to-face inner circle. And then the fifth thing that you can do is take inspiring notes and post them. I have like post-it notes all over my office because and all over my house, but my office is just the beginning of it, because I take inspiring message, I take inspiring notes, and I write them down and I leave them for myself to find at different parts of my day and different times. And to surround yourself with quotes like that is really as good as, again, having kind of that virtual through time, through space conversation with the person who spoke it. So make sure that you are surrounding yourself, that when you just need a minute, when you just need, something that is going to trip a creative wire in you or pull you back on track when you just had a conversation maybe that didn't go well. Having inspiring quotes all around you is a great way to make that happen. That's why we ask all of our guests on the show what is your favorite quote, rather, so that they will share with you their favorite quote to inspire you and move you forward. And then the last way for you to surround yourself virtually outside of other people is just check in with yourself. Now, this is certainly no original idea to me. I actually heard it on an interview from a podcast I was listening to. And this gentleman, Scott Stearns, was talking about, just taking a moment to check in. So basically, if you're facing a situation or, something at work or something with a client and you're not sure what to do or how to go about it, just take a minute and ask yourself, what would Scott do? What would Annette do? What would John, Jim, or whatever your name is, what would you do in that situation? Sometimes it's best to trust that inner voice and make them part of your inner circle. We tend not to trust ourselves far too much. Just take a minute to check in, ask yourself, what would you do? And use that as part of advancing your inner circle and advancing you forward. Well, that was our episode on how to surround yourself virtually outside of those live face-to-face interactions. Tomorrow, I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to show you how to surround yourself in an accelerated fashion. I'm actually going to walk you step by step how I do it in my business, and it is going to be awesome. So make sure that you don't miss tomorrow's episode. Until then, head on over to iamadvancing.com and make sure that you hit that join our community button so that we can add you to our community of advancing entrepreneurs and keep you in the inner circle that's going to give you feedback, support, and move you forward on your road to success. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Advancing Entrepreneur. If you enjoyed it, leave us a rating and review. Not only will it make our day, you'll also be helping others find this show and advance their own careers. Once you're done, be sure to head on over to iamadvancing.com and join our community to learn what it takes to be an advancing entrepreneur and surround yourself for success. Thanks again, and get ready to advance.